Alright folks, glad you can join me. This video, I'm pretty sure the title of the video is going to be I am not an enemy of the state. And if it's not the title of the video, it's the main idea or one of the main inspirations for the ideas that we're going to discuss here. I certainly feel that way, and if I need to make an official statement or whatnot and to let it be known and to make a declaration, then I am not an enemy of the state. That is my declaration. That is the role that I choose consciously as well. And there are a couple of reasons why I say that and I would choose that. And one of the main reasons is because I don't believe that evil can be truly or completely eliminated from existence, from an existence. The possibility for evil, I don't think that that could be eliminated. The possibility for bad, I don't think that these things can be eliminated. They come with the territory. They actually serve a purpose. They're part of the nature of things. I believe that there can be a control. And when we talk about control, what we're really talking about ultimately then is a coexistence. And when I say coexistence, and I may have said this before, I don't mean that that means that you have to accept or that you agree with the bad things and the evil things and stuff. But what I do mean, or what I usually am trying to get at by coexistence, is that these things cannot be eliminated. So, I mean, like in some kind of, like, I don't know, ethical or some kind of colorful language, I mean, also, you can't run from these things either. So, and yes, we can, one way to control them is by understanding that we're going to have to coexist with these things. We're going to have to exist with it. Okay, so we're going to have to manage with it. We're going to have to manage together. We're going to have to coexist together. Another part of that is the part. Well, I don't want. Based on the title of the video and the inspiration type statement, I don't want to imply that the state is evil and the state is bad. That's not fair, and that's going to be inaccurate. And because that's the same thinking that stereotypes, and that's also the same thinking that can go in either direction, so that I can say humanity or any particular part of humanity or people or whatnot, they're bad and stuff like that. But we know the deal, and we're dynamic enough and mature enough to be very specified. We don't need blanket rules. Okay, some people are good and some people are damaged and corrupted or intentionally not caring and stuff. That's just how it is, and what I just said is happening in all aspects, in all fields, in all areas. All right, there's good people, and then there's people who are not so good. Okay, for various reasons. We need to be mature about it moving forward. This is not as a philosophical discussion as you think it is and stuff. And if you're just going to sit there and you're going to say, no way, I refuse to tolerate, and I will live my life trying to completely eliminate bad and evil from existence, the same logic that I'm using for this coexistence, I must also use for you. And I must respect that, and you have every right to. You have every right to try to eliminate existence. You have every right to try to eliminate evil from existence. Okay, whether it is possible or not, it doesn't matter. You have every right to do that. But remember, you see how I was just fair in saying that I must apply that same logic to my understanding with you? Well, you need to be fair and apply that same logic. Okay, afford that same respect that I gave you, and I know, using the word respect, okay, but let's just, so we don't make this video tremendously long, you get the point, okay, you must use that same logic for evil, okay, evil, these people have the right in their own world. I may not actually believe that. And I may truly believe, I do truly believe, that there are effective ways and better ways that things can be done, better ways and effective ways that we should be treating each other and interacting with each other. I have my beliefs, and I know that those are good, okay? But I still understand that there is a space, an area for a person who says, oh, I don't have to fit into that category. Now, we understand. Okay, if we want to start with this, where are we going really anyway with this? What topic are we? I mean, so yeah, so we're talking morals and ethics, right? This is a moral and ethics topic. One large part of it, moral and ethics. I mean, but really, what shouldn't have a topic of moral ethics involved in it? Whatever it is, fun, even fun in games, art. Everything should have some consideration and some percentage of a moral and ethic understanding, right? So, but anyway, all right. So the person said that we understand that we may hold, everyone might hold to a fundamental and a certain fundamental one that's undeniable. Okay, but right after that, it becomes wide open, and in this sense, okay. I don't believe that somebody should. I don't believe that animals should be treated to such a degree or in such a way so that we're really driving home the point, or it supports the idea that they're lesser than us and and it doesn't matter as much, which as being the reasons why you might mistreat an animal or abuse an animal or just not care, okay? Because they're underneath us, or simply because we can dominate them, so therefore whatever we do to them is justified because we can dominate them. I don't subscribe to that. I don't like that idea, okay? I think that there's a better way to have a relationship, okay? But I understand those people who do subscribe to that, who do believe in that type of ideology, who do have that belief, okay? Because somebody can say, okay, I am powerful enough, I earned it, or I worked at it, or whatever, I have that resource, I have that access, it is also my right to, execute that access, to use that access to dominate. That's their belief and stuff. It doesn't make it ultimately right, but you see what I'm getting at. So here's a great way to put it, and I think about this a lot. Because somebody makes millions and millions of dollars doesn't automatically mean that they have to do good with their money. All right, and I think that a better way is if they do make some kind of effort to do good with that money and stuff. And even if you're going to go in some brutal sense that they owe it, because you can't make millions of dollars without some form of oppression, some form of suppression, some form of unfairness and manipulation or whatever. But let's just look, not everyone who's making millions of dollars or who has made millions of dollars is a bad person. That's another thing that we need to get out of our head. So you can't just walk out into the streets and start kicking down every billionaire or millionaire's door. Some people made that money playing by the rules, playing by the thing. It's not, what do you want them to do? Right? Not everyone's a cutthroat piece of shit. In politics, believe it or not, in law enforcement and in business, not everyone's a cutthroat piece of shit. And if I'm doing what I love, and that brings me down to a path where somebody wants to throw boatloads of money at me, I'm going to review. Always will, in a sincere and effective way, I will review, okay, that reality and how it's done, and if it's done within the rules, and if it's done within fair business, and I'm not going to slash the throats of many others and step on many others, but everything else is legit, just the way it works in economics or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Otherwise, you can't really do anything, because no matter what you do, you're playing some kind of role in destroying the world and messing everything up and oppressing somebody and stuff. No way. And you can't cherry pick it, because those people who think they're going to do the homegrown, I'm going to grow all my food, it's going to be all organic, I'm never going to do nothing. You're killing something, man. And that's another video. So you need to snap out of it, okay? To exist is to consume. To exist is to destroy, okay? To use the words vividly, okay? Because I can tap dance around them and I can use much sweeter words, okay? But that would, that's not fair either. And I would be partly full of shit, okay? Yeah. Okay, so eating a plant is still eating a plant. The plant is alive, and that's an organism too. All right, so you're messing. To live is to hurt something, man. Right? To live is to hurt something. We consume. All right, we hurt ourselves just by doing things, and we hurt ourselves, and we're sort of like enemies to our body. Just as good as we are to our body, we're enemies to our body. Now, if you go back in some of the vlog stuff, chats that we've had, I gave you a story about the lions and the buffalo, you see? And I gave you a story about how the gardener thought he was the savior to the garden, and how all the plants and everyone was just waiting for him to come, him or her, to come, for the gardener to come and just make everything beautiful and stuff like that. But I showed you how there is an equal amount of life and things in the garden that cried bloody murder when they saw the gardener come and say, oh no, 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 here comes this person, the anthills that we built, the webs, the weeds too. So you think that it's okay to pull all of those weeds because you say, well, this is an invasive species. But relative to the species, relative to that plant, it's still a living thing. But we have the justification. It's okay to pull all the weeds out because our justification is that the weeds are no good, they're harmful, right? Okay, well, there's always in the chain, in the food chain, in the relationships of life, there's always something that could look at something else and say, that thing is harmful. And that certainly includes us on the other side. There's always something that could look at us and say, we're harmful as well. So there's no escaping it. There's no escaping it. If you're breathing, you're going to have to put yourself in a corner and you're not even going to move. It's not the way, it's not accurate. You can't think like that. It's not working. That's not the way. There must be a better understanding and perception of our reality and the reality around us. Okay? It's okay for animals to kill each other and eat because we say there's a certain pureness in this. There's not a bad intention involved with it. Hence, it's a pure, natural thing. Okay? But why does it suddenly not become natural for humans to consume the animal or something? Why is there a big stink about that? Well, one stink is about if we're treating them unfairly and inhumane and stuff, fine. But what if we don't? What if you do treat it with love and fairness? Plenty of cultures, and especially from the past or whatever, had a beautiful relationship with the animal that they hunted and ate. Okay, it was even a spiritual thing. It was a respect thing. It was an honor thing. Okay, and one of the ways they went about that is that there was no difference. There was no difference. There was ultimately no difference between the animal and the hunter, between the prey and the hunter. They were actually one and the same, part of one larger picture, one larger organism. And by killing the animal, it wasn't killing the spirit of the animal. The spirit of the animal, the essence of the animal, the soul of the animal, the soul of the material, the entity, okay, continued on. So long as that relationship was recognized and understood and respected, okay, we lost that now. So because there's such a hatred, there's such an inaccurate agenda of stating that human beings are shit and everything we do is just crap and harmful, and the world hates and the earth hates us, and the waterways and the forests hate us and stuff. It's like, that's not true. They have a greater understanding, even when you pluck them out, even when you cut a tree down. Because nature more readily understands that what's cutting the tree down is another tree. But we don't see it that way because we're still heavily invested in that I am me, you are you, and you are not me, I am not you. We are two separate, and the tree is the tree, and I am not the tree. We're separate things. So the things that I do to it are always going to be not in harmony, and that's not true.